Chapter 6 Miracle in a Jar. I was out of Bucky's tea house and veterinarian hospital faster than an earwig out of an ear. When I got home, I told Calvin all about fast track tea and how scary it got in the end. Calvin was not really listening to me. He had just come home from karate and was still in a karate mood. He kicked his legs and chopped the air with his hands. Ha! He said. Ha! Ha! What am I going to do? I asked. Ha! Said Calvin. His leg swung over my head. I wish I could just disappear, I said. Calvin stopped. He looked at me. That's it, said Calvin. What's it? I asked. You just gave me an idea for my science fair project, said Calvin. He ran upstairs. Annabelle and I ran after him. He took out his clipboard and scribbled something. What is it, Cal? I asked. Well, if you agree to be my guinea pig, said Calvin, I can make all your troubles go away. Really, Cal? I asked. Usually Calvin never even lets me near his projects. How? I'll make you invisible, said Calvin. That way you can go to the party and not be seen. Out of sight, out of trouble. Hooray! I cried. My brother Calvin is practically a genius. Not so fast, said Calvin. I'll have to do a bunch of experiments. It might not work at first. You might have to be a guinea pig for a while. Can I be a guinea pig too? Asked Annabelle. I've always wanted a guinea pig, but now I can be one. No way, I said. Calvin said I'm the guinea pig. You can be a guinea pig too, Annabelle, said Calvin, who always has a good word for Annabelle. I need to test stuff on more than one person. I don't want to test anything, said Annabelle. I just want to be a guinea pig. Great, said Calvin. Come on. We followed Calvin downstairs past Gung Gung, who was supposed to be watching us after school, but who had fallen asleep on the couch straight to the refrigerator. If there's anything I've learned in Boy Scouts, it's this, said Calvin. Lemon juice makes good invisible ink. Calvin took out a bunch of lemons that were already cut up for tea, and we squeezed the juice out of them. Then we smeared the juice all over me and Annabelle. Lemon juice will make your freckles disappear too, Calvin said to Annabelle. Want some pulp for extra strength? Yep, she said, as long as I grow fur and whiskers over 'em like a regular guinea pig. Calvin stuck pulp on the little freckles on her cheeks. Extra strength works for me too, I said. I took the lemon peels and stuck them all over myself with duct tape. If there's anything I've learned from my dad, it's this. Duct tape is the most useful thing in the house, but I have no idea why it's for the ducks. Then we waited. Are we faded yet? I asked. Nope, said Calvin. Are we halfway faded? Nope. How about partly faded? Nope. Gung Gung stirred on the couch. Ow! Howled Lucy. Lucy said it's time to try something else, said Annabelle. Okay, said Calvin. Okay, I said. Then we peeled off the lemons, tiptoed past Gung Gung, and hurried back upstairs. Miracle in a jar, said the label on the little jar in my mom's medicine cabinet. Makes wrinkles disappear overnight. Makes fine lines invisible. This may be just the thing, said Calvin, climbing down from the sink. Do you ever see wrinkles on Mom? No, said Annabelle. Do you ever see fine lines? No, I said. She's just plain. No lines, no tattoos, nothing. That's because this cream makes everything disappear, said Calvin. It's Miracle in a Jar. It's on TV all the time. Calvin was right. I'd seen it on TV too. So we rubbed it on. It was cool and felt like whipped butter. There was only one problem. There wasn't much cream in that tiny jar. It barely covered 2 foreheads. But my mom never runs out of anything. She plans ahead. She buys stuff on sale. So we checked the closet. On a middle shelf, where it was easy to reach, there were quite a few jars of Miracle in a Jar, next to the extra toilet paper and the extra shampoo and soap. It's a good thing Mom's a good shopper, I said. If she were a Boy Scout, said Calvin, in a quiet voice that he uses when he's turning over a rare baseball card, she'd make Order of the Arrow. This time we slathered it on as thick as mayonnaise. The only problem was having to open so many of the little jars just to get enough. When we finished Annabelle's face, she closed her eyes and smiled peacefully, just like the lady on TV. When my face was done, I put some on my neck. Then I put the rest in my hair, just in case. La, 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 sang Annabelle. She was really happy. It's sticky, I said. I was not so happy. But I can feel it working already, I added. Really, said Calvin. But the box says it works overnight, and it's not overnight yet. Annabelle blinked. She looked pretty invisible to me. Only her eyes showed and the little dark holes that were her nostrils. It's working, I screamed. It's working. Calvin looked closely. Then he stepped back. Then he stared straight through us. This is going to win me the science fair prize, said Calvin, stunned. I can only see your eyes. Hooray! I cried. Hooray! Cried Annabelle. I looked in the mirror. I was so covered with Miracle in a Jar that I was practically headless. It was terrific. So we put away the leftover jars. Calvin said I should use them right before the party. It was the perfect plan. My brother was practically a genius, so I asked him about something else. Once I get my deluxe Indian chief outfit, Hobson will invite me to his party, won't he? I asked Calvin. Can't be sure about that, said Calvin. Why not? Girls will invite you for no good reason, said Calvin, but boys invite you only if you're worth inviting. Worth inviting? I asked. You have to either be impressive or do something impressive, said Calvin. Like what? Well, for starters, it would help if you got all that cream off your face, said Calvin. Okay, I said. I ran to the bathroom and washed off the Miracle in a Jar. Then I ran back to Calvin. That's better, said Calvin, inspecting me. Now you can work on doing something impressive. Like what? I asked. Like set a world record, said Calvin. A world record? It has to be an impressive one, said Calvin. Like most apples split in a minute in midair with a samurai sword. That'll get you invited for sure. I can do that, I said. No problem. I ran downstairs and grabbed an apple from the refrigerator, and then I ran back upstairs. Then I grabbed Annabelle's gold plastic samurai sword because I couldn't find my own, and I started to practice. Whoosh went Annabelle's samurai sword. Thunk went the apple on the floor. Whoosh went Annabelle's sword again. Bonk went the apple on my head. That looks like fun, said Annabelle, who'd been relaxing on my bed with cream on her face. It is, I said. Can I try? Asked Annabelle. Sure, I said. So then Annabelle set about slicing apples in midair with the samurai sword. It was great fun, but it was really hard. None of the apples actually got split. They didn't even get thwacked. Fortunately, I'm good at making lists, so later that night, after everyone had gone to bed, my flashlight was on, my eyes were wide open, I opened my notebook. Next to my old list, how to survive a girl's party. Number 1, show no fear. Number 2, wear Miracle in a Jar. Number 3, don't fast track tea. Number 4, pinky up. I began a new list. World Records by Alvin Ho. Number 1, most apples split in a minute in mid-air with a samurai sword. How was I ever going to come up with world records? I had no idea. It was going to be a long, sleepless night.